Okay, so you've been going through all this stuff you sent over, match commentaries, player stats, you name it. And honestly, one moment just kind of jumps out at me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was the RCB-MI match at Wankhede, April 7th,
Mm.
and the atmosphere was electric.
Yeah.
You know how it is there.
Oh, yeah. Always is.
But there was this almost, I don't know, it wasn't flashy or anything, but it was historic Bhuvneshwar Kumar dismissing Tilak Varma.
Right.
And it was like, just another wicket at the time.
Right.
But it's actually his 184th wicket in the IPL.
Wow.
He surpassed Dwayne Bravo to become the leading pace bowler in IPL history.
That's pretty huge.
It is. It's 184 wickets in 179 matches, compared to Bravo's 183 and 161.
That's a statement about consistency.
Yep, definitely.
When you look at it from the outset, I think what's really interesting is the different paths they took to get there. Bravo's got that flair, the variations, the celebrations, and then you've got Bhuvneshwar, who's just so steady, almost like a machine.
Yeah.
Just keeps hitting the same spot over and over.
Yeah, and when you look at the match analysis, it was fascinating. You could feel the momentum shifting. When MI was chasing, Varma looked set to just keep going, and then Bhuvneshwar gets him out.
Yeah.
It just completely changed the game.
Totally.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about the record. It was a crucial moment in the match.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? He's now third overall in IPL wicket-taking history.
Really?
Yeah, only behind Chahal and Chola.
Wow. To be up there with those spin legends as a fast bowler, that's saying something.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable.
Especially when you consider how much T20 has evolved. There's so much emphasis on variations and slower balls and death bowling. But Bhuvneshwar shows that good old-fashioned pace and swing can still be super effective.
Yeah, he's proof that the basics still matter.
Definitely.
So let's get into the specifics of that match now.
Okay.
You sent over the scorecards in the commentary. Hardik Pandya won the toss and chose to field. And after seeing how RCB batted, I wonder if he was regretting that decision.
Possibly.
They ended up putting up a massive 221 for 5.
Yeah, that's a tough chase.
Phil Salt got out early, but then Virat Kohli just came alive.
He always seems to find another gear against MI.
He smashed 67 off 42 balls with 8 fours and 2 sixes.
Classic Kohli.
Exactly. It's like he was saying, we're not messing around today.
Setting the tone right from the start. And from what I gathered from the notes, it seemed like that really allowed the other batsmen to play freely, knowing they had that solid base.
Yeah, I think you're right. Devdutt Padikkal came in and just kept the momentum going. He scored 37 off 22 balls. They had a 91-run partnership and really put the pressure on MI.
It seems like Pandya might have underestimated RCB's firepower on that pitch. They probably expected to restrict them a bit more.
Yeah, and then came the real fireworks. Rajat Patidar just exploded. He hit 64 off 32 balls, 5 fours, and 4 sixes. The boundaries were raining down at Wankhede.
That kind of aggressive batting can really demoralize a bowling attack.
Definitely. And to top it off, Jadesh Sharma came in and smashed an unbeaten 40 off just 19 balls. It felt like every other ball was sailing over the boundary.
So basically every RCB batsman who came in just kept piling on the runs. They didn't let up at all.
Nope. And you can see it in the MI bowling figures. Even their best bowlers got hit hard. Pandya and Bolt took 2 wickets each, but they were expensive.
Yeah, 45 and 57 runs respectively. Ouch.
Even Bumrah, who's usually so economical, went wicketless. He gave up 29 runs in his 4 overs, which was actually their best figures among the Pacers.
Wow, RCB really put them to the sword.
They did. So chasing 222 MI found themselves in a bit of a hole. They were 99 for 4 after 12 overs.
Yeah, losing 4 wickets that early in a big chase is never ideal.
You could feel the tension in the commentary. At that point, it seemed like RCB were cruising to victory.
Definitely. When you're chasing that kind of total, you need partnerships. And losing wickets puts so much pressure on the remaining batsmen.
But then Tilak Varma and Hardik Pandya decided to fight back.
They sure did.
Varma hit 56 off 29 balls and Pandya 42 off just 15 deliveries.
They were hitting sixes for fun. It was incredible.
Yeah, their 89-run partnership came in just 34 balls. Suddenly, MI were back in the game. They needed 41 off the last 3 overs.
That's T20 cricket for you. One moment you think it's over, and the next it's a nail-biter.
But then Krunal Pandya stepped up and bowled an amazing spell.
Clutch bowling.
He took 4 wickets for 45 runs, including 3 in the final over.
You gotta have ice in your veins to do that.
Absolutely. Josh Hazlewood also bowled well, picking up 2 wickets and keeping things tight at the other end.
He really set the stage for Krunal to do his thing.
Yeah, and of course Bhuvneshwar got that key wicket of Tilak Varma.
Even though he went for a few runs, that wicket was crucial.
It was. In the end, MI fell just short. They finished at 209 for 9, losing by 12 runs.
Ah, so close yet so far.
But that win was massive for RCB. It was their first win at Wankai in 10 years.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, they've had a tough time there. It must have been a huge relief to finally break that curse.
Breaking a streak like that can do wonders for a team's confidence.
And their away form this season has been fantastic. They've won 3 out of 4 games on the road.
That's impressive. It shows they can adapt to different conditions and handle the pressure of playing away from home.
Yeah, they're looking like real contenders.
For sure.
MI, on the other hand, they're having a bit of a rough season. They've only won 1 out of 5 games so far.
Yeah, they're in 8th place on the points table. They've got a lot of work to do.
They do. They've got the talent, but they haven't been able to put it all together yet.
It seems like they're struggling to find the right balance and consistency.
Exactly.
But coming back to Bhuvneshwar for a moment, it's amazing how he's managed to stay at the top of his game for so long.
Yeah, he's been around since the early days of the IPL, and he's still going strong.
From Sunrisers to RCB, he's just been a model of consistency.
And his approach is so different from a lot of other T20 bowlers. He doesn't rely on a lot of fancy variations. He just hits his lines and lets the ball do the work.
It's almost like a throwback to a different era of fast bowling.
Yeah, he's a real purist.
Definitely.
And looking back at that match, there were so many great individual performances. Kohli's anchoring knock, Padikhal's quick-fire innings, Patidar's power hitting, and Sharma's finishing touches for RCB.
And for MI, Varma's fighting spirit and Pandya's explosive hitting almost stole the show.
Yeah, it was a game full of entertainment.
It really highlights how individual brilliance can contribute to the overall team narrative.
So to sum it all up, we saw Bhuvneshwar Kumar make history. RCB continued their strong away form, and MI showed glimpses of their potential but ultimately fell short.
It was a match that had a bit of everything.
It did. So here's something for everyone to think about as the season unfolds.
Okay.
In a fast-paced league like the IPL, what creates a lasting legacy?
That's a good question.
Is it about breaking records like Bhuvneshwar?
Right.
Or is it about those unforgettable match-winning performances that people talk about for years?
Or maybe it's about consistently contributing to your team's success over multiple seasons.
Exactly. How do those different types of contributions compare? And what do they tell us about the nature of excellence in T20 cricket?
Lots to ponder.
Yeah. Something to keep in mind as we watch the rest of the tournament.